Welcome to Final Fantasy -1. This is a ROM hack of Final Fantasy for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is a early predecessor to another ROM hack of this game that I did a run of called Final Fantasy Ultra Champion Edition. This is looks like it's the earlier version of that one done by another author. We are going to go through the party setup here. I'm going with the Viking. I'm also going with the Ninja. Hello, Ninja. The Ninja is going to have a little bit of magical ability. The Viking is going to be mostly just a physical, tanky, beat-em-up kind of guy. The Paladin is kind of a combo. It's kind of like the Knight class in Final Fantasy 1 Vanilla that can use some white magic, some defensive magic, but it also has some offensive output. Then I'm going with a class from the Vanilla version. We're going with the Black Wizard to go on from that. So just a big black magic caster. So the author of this one is a user named Pink Puff on romhacking.net. I'll put a link to where you can find this hack in the description of this video series. We're going to work kind of quickly here because this first part does go fast. There is a circle of sages here in Corneria that you can talk to. They give you the guide to the game. They give you some basic Final Fantasy 1 tips. And then they also give you these very handy charts that show you which classes can handle which pieces of equipment. So you've got Night Swords, Dark Sword, or Fell Swords, should say. Night Swords, Fell Swords, regular swords. And so my Paladin, I don't think we'll be able to get those big stuff in when I get there to the end. Here's a little guide to the magic. And you can see you've got white, black, red, and time spells in this one. Yeah, so there are a couple of other, not elements in this one, a couple of other attributes for this one. So for example, the spell Cure is a white spell and a red spell. Harm is a white and red spell, but then there's also the white magic spell Invis and the white magic spell Wake. Those are both time spells. So the ninja can use the time spells up to level 4. And of course, so white and time would be Invis. So the Paladin, the White Mage, the Ninja, the Time Mage, they can use those ones. So the Time Mage can use a time spells all the way up to the top. So there is another link to the spell chart in here, which I'll put in the description that will make more sense than me just talking about it. At this point, I have not been able to find a good chart of weapons and armor. So right now I'm just kind of using my knowledge of going into the status menu and going by what I know from the vanilla game to see what those do. So you can see the spells here are cheaper monetarily than they are in the vanilla game. They cost 100 in the vanilla game and 50 right here. So we're putting on some offensive spells for Dan, who is our Black Wizard. And we're getting the Cure spell for our Paladin and the Invis spell for our Ninja. Because we are going to go up and try to tackle Garland here at level 1 with the very basic equipment that we do have and basic spells. So we're going to try our very best to get through that first battle. We're going to buy one tent, which costs less than the vanilla version, which is very nice because you have to use them to save. I'm just double checking the things I can use here. Red Mage can use the red spells. And so when it says a red spell, those are basically the non-status-y kind of spells. So the time magic spells are usually the more status-y or status-changing spells that we do have. So outside of Corneria here, we can see our imps are just the same as we remember good old imps, just as they always are with their little knives. We're going to run from everything here. I remember I need to switch Cal up to the front position, which looks like it will be interesting in this run. As I pick up better armor for these characters, I think I will be switching around which of the characters occupy the front 2 slots. Right now, the Viking cannot equip the chain shirt. He can only equip the more plate mail kind of armor, so he actually is naked right now. He has no absorb. He has absorb of 0. So he is actually doing worse than Dan in terms of his absorb. Now, if the damage or the targeting calculation is not changed from the vanilla version, then that one he should be the same in the 3rd position as the 4th position. So I'll read the description of this game from romhacking.net from Pink Puff. Pink Puff says, in addition to weapon, armor, monster spell, and job data being rebuilt from the ground up, you can now select from 12 jobs. Weapons and armor now have types, and jobs equip items by type rather than by individual weapons and armors, so if you can use one staff, you can use them all, which is really nice. That will help guide my buying decisions later on. Each spell has 2 colors rather than just one, so black or white, and then in addition can be red or time. So there's some black, time, black, red, etc. Here is there's a block there in the main part of Garland, and I'm going to project my guess as to why that is in just a moment. So many bug fixes and improvements have been applied, too many to list, but among them are the martial arts bug, the house bug, faster text boxes, 5-letter character names, unbroken spell routines, and weapon elements. So some of those are, if you play this game a lot, you know those already. The martial arts bug changes how the damage from the black belts or master is calculated when they level up and when you menu. There's some numbers that get kind of shuffled around. That it's kind of a minor bug. The house bug is one where when you use a house, it's supposed to restore your spell charges as well, and it does, except it saves the game before it recovers your spell charges, not after. So if you reload from a house save, you will not have the spell charges there. That pillar at the very top of this screen, when I pause there, that is the reason why I think they put the block in the first one, because we are going to have to revisit that pillar as a warp tile in just a little bit later on in this video. And I think the author of this Pink Puff decided to force us to go around to the north, or the back end of the Temple of Fiends here, so that we can see that something has changed, something is different right there. So I'm just double checking to see if I need to use Cure on anybody, or if I want to. Everyone's at their very base level. When you go from level 1 to level 2, that is called a strong level up in this game, so you get a lot of hit points when you go to level 2. But I did not get that level up, so we're still at very, very, very low levels. But thankfully, we can cast the Invis spell already. And so we're going to be more or less defended from most of Garland's damage. He will be missing us quite a bit more. So we've got 2 fire spells to go around. So we'll have our evasion up, and you can stack the Invis spells on each other. So Garland should be a little bit of a grind, but should not be impossible. And so we have, going back to the bug fixes in this game, we have 5-letter character names, which is not really a bug, but it's a nice feature, and unbroken spell routines, so e.g. attack up. So I guess that would be, I interpret that to mean that things like Temper still works okay. So if we get that later, if we get access to that spell, there's a totally different spell list in this one. There's a lot of new spells in this one, which we'll check out as we go through. I would guess that the attack up kinds of spells now actually work, which is really nice, and not just the fast or haste spell, which is the only way to really boost your physical offense in the vanilla version, because Temper and Saber are both bugged. Clinics are now free, and they heal everything, not just KO, as well as a variety of other miscellaneous and minor improvements. Also note, there was and is no waterfall dungeon, and it is not required to complete the game. So there are some map tiles have been changed up quite a bit here, so we will have to discover those as we go along. Garland has been defeated, and there is Princess Sarah. She has been rescued, so here we go back to the castle at Corneria. I talked to the king, but the princess is not there. Normally you get the loot from the princess here in the castle, but the princess is mysteriously missing. Nobody seems to be worried that you rescued her, but she's not here in the castle, at least nowhere that I can find. I'm going back into the castle to demonstrate a little Easter egg there that the author of this patch left in. And one of the famous bugs of this game is the invisible or disappearing woman, and there she is right there. So she says, when you cast Invis, you can raise your evasion, and she says you can't hit what you can't see, and there is the disappearing woman, so that's a graphical glitch that's a little nod to. Very cute, very nice, thank you, Pink Puff. Here we're going to go back into the town as soon as we pick up one level up. Right there I checked to see how close we were to getting the level 2 level up, and we're all just 2 experience points away. And so we'll get our strong level up here for the hit point bonus, and then we will head back up to the Temple of Fiends, because there's one more thing that I want to show you in this first part before we go on. And as of this moment, I do not know what it means or why it's done like this, but I assume that we will discover it as we work our way through the game. Here we get our strong level up. You can see the hit point totals really going up, except the ninja and the black mage both are pretty weakened by their low hit point status. So I'm guessing that my ninja is going to spend a lot of time in those back couple of ranks, and it's going to be mostly my paladin and the Viking up front. Once the Viking gets some armor, he's going to be in better shape. One thing to notice, and I believe we take a look at this in a battle, is that the ninja already has 2 hits. So when the ninja attacks, look at the damage readout. You'll see the ninja already has 2 hits, 11 damage right there. So the ninja is just wielding the basic dagger. It's the same dagger that the black mage can hold right now, but the ninja has crossed 32 on the hit percent. The ninja actually starts with 31, I saw, with that weapon, so it's 31 with that weapon. I'm guessing that Pink Puff put that in on purpose so that the ninja was just underneath getting 2 hits, and then when it gets up to 32 on the level up, then you get your second hit with the ninja. So the ninja's damage already is multiplying. I'm assuming here that the critical hit bug has been fixed. It doesn't explicitly say in the short description here, but when it says that many bug fixes have been applied, too many to count, the critical hit formulation in the vanilla game is not working correctly. It uses the weapon number instead of anything that your character has what it's supposed to use for critical hits. So when it decides if you're going to get a critical hit, the later in the game you pick up the weapon, the higher its index number, and thus your greater chance for critical hit, not necessarily what it should be to check those out. So I'm guessing the ninja is going to be getting more critical hits like the thief was supposed to, and like the katana is supposed to in the vanilla game. So we've gotten quite a few battles here on this one. And we're going to be going to this warp tile up in the top, right up there. And you see we're in a hallway here. And there is a battle on the first one. Now, when I first discovered this, or I first walked into this, I was thinking about, is that a trap tile, or is that just me getting another battle? By the time I hit the second one here, I was pretty confident that that's a trap tile there at the front, and by the time I hit 3 in a row and saw that it was enemies from way later in the game, we know we're dealing with trap tiles right here. And all of these battles are escapable. Now, there's something in the vanilla game. A lot of battles are inescapable. You just can't run from them. They have a hidden flag that says can't run from this battle. And of course, it's boss battles, but a lot of random battles have that too, or just trap square battles. But it doesn't tell you which ones are and which ones aren't, so you can spend a lot of time trying to run from a battle that you have no chance of escaping from. But this one is escapable. I do get away. And it's a little bit unfortunate that I lost 2 characters because we are trying to get to that first door. If we can get to that first door, we're going to be in good shape, but I have 2 characters left. They need to hit some runs. These Earth Elemental type enemies, they are inescapable or unrunnable, is not the smoothest way to say it, but that's the one that pops into my head a lot. And the Fire Elementals as well. I've got one more battle I need to clear out, and it's with a set of 5 enemies, so it's not looking good, because if they land any hits on me, we are dead. So I did save back here at the town, so we will do one more crawl on it, and we will get there on this crawl. I'll show you what we're looking at. But the elemental enemies normally have the flag of being inescapable, but in this one, it appears they don't. And if this is programmed the same way that the vanilla game is, if an enemy set is inescapable one place, it's inescapable every place. So that's good news that the earth and fire battles you can escape from, so that later on, if I have a more evasive kind of party, I don't have to sit and grind out every earth and fire battle and water battle in the later temples. I can't escape from those. I'm hoping that with a ninja that's got higher luck skill, I'll be able to get away from battles more easily as I'm crawling dungeons. And I think that will make the experience of making Let's Play videos through these dungeons a little bit more pleasant. Something that players of Final Fantasy Ultra Championship Edition will notice is that I am playing this as if I haven't played that one, because at this moment I haven't looked at that one or played it in a long, long time. I remember my party was pretty similarly set up to the one I have right now, tuned a little more to the offensive side. I think I had a Sage in the other one that can use some of the higher level magic of both colors. So I'm going to be exploring this and reacting to it as a newish player to this kind of hack, not someone who has studied the later version of this one done by Robert August de Meyer a little bit later. So here we are again. We get a chance to strike first. That means we're going to get away from this one, no problem. I know all these battles are escapable, because on a first exploration of this one, I did get through to that first door on the very first attempt and was very confused. But we're going to get through the sharks here, and you only just need to have one character alive to get to that door. So we are just going to give everything we can to these RNGs and try to get our way out of here. Five enemies here, all plinking away. It would be interesting to see. I don't know how worthwhile it would be to try to have Bill cast Invis on us, because enemies still can hit you through an Invis shield. It's not like it makes you impervious. You can stack them up and make yourself pretty impervious, but it might just be better to have Bill attempt to run on these. So here's 2 Earths, hoping to get an early run before they can get a kill shot in. I'm glad I healed Cal up because he survived that one. And this reminds me a little bit of playing Final Fantasy V and going to the basement of Walt's Castle or Warris Castle and trying to get that first elf cape, where you run into back attacks all over the place, and you need to just try to run away from them and hope for good luck, unless you have a thief, and then you can get away almost for free in the early part of the game. But we made it through, and in this chest here we found the TNT, so that's a key item in the vanilla version of this game. And then if you look ahead, we can see that there is earth, fire. I'm assuming that there are 2 more icons there for water and for wind, and I'm assuming that they will come into play later on in this game, although it is a mystery how. So I'm not sure what they're going to do for us, but I'm glad that we did get this one chest here with the TNT so you could see where that is. And again, I think that's why the author of this patch made us go to the back of the Temple of Fiends. That's going to do it for part 1 here of Final Fantasy -1 as we get to the bridge and hear the prologue of Final Fantasy theme. If you like this video, if you have questions, please let me know in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. Hit me up on Twitter, where I'm also active_ATE, and we will see you next time.